Our choices shape our futures. The future of businesses, economies.
EITHCZESKLEVA with the Hoover Police Department. Joining me at the podium today will be Hoover Mayor Frank Brocato, spelled Brocato, and Hoover Police Chief Nick Durzis, spelled Derzis. You may also hear from Lieutenant Daniel Lowe, spelled Lowe, of the Hoover Police Investigations Division. Mayor Brocato will make a brief opening statement, and then Chief Durzis will read a prepared statement. After Chief's statement is complete, there will be an opportunity to ask a few questions regarding this investigation. Keep in mind that this is still an ongoing investigation, so there may be some questions that we cannot answer. With that, I will turn it over to Mayor Brocato. Our community learned about the disappearance of CARLEE Russell, and it sent fear and pandemonium not just through our city, but the entire state and the nation as well. The media quickly joined us to get the word out about CARLEE. Our community sprung into action, and they organized search parties, arranged prayer vigils. They took other steps that I'm not even aware of to help in this situation. The Hoover Police Department quickly rallied multiple partner agencies, stopping at nothing to find CARLEE. I'd like to take this time to say thank you first to the Hoover Police Department, our partner agencies, our wonderful community, and to all those that aided in some way in connection with this situation. As the days have gone on and more information has been shared, we know everyone has questions. The Hoover Police Department is known for being very methodical and thorough with their investigations. For that reason, we did not feel comfortable speaking in detail publicly until now. It is important that we share this information now so that our community Hoover Police Chief Nick Durzis. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank everyone for being here today. Besides me stands the team who played a significant role in this investigation. I want to thank our department, members of surrounding local law enforcement agencies, the FBI, Secret Service, United States Marshals, and ALEA for their assistance in this case. We said from the evening of July 13th, our focus would be the safe return of CARLEE Russell. That occurred on Saturday, July 15th, approximately 49 hours after she called 911 and disappeared. From that point, our focus has been to determine CARLEE's whereabouts during that time and what exactly took place. Let me say up front, this investigation is not over. We're still working this case, and we will work in this case until we uncover every piece of evidence that helps us account for the 49 hours that CARLEE Russell was missing. However, through the public interest, and in some cases, public fear, that this story has generated, we owe it to our citizens to tell them the facts that we have uncovered. So I will give you the facts that we know today. On July 13th, at approximately 8:20 p.m., CARLEE left work from a business at the Summit. Surveillance video from her place of employment shows CARLEE concealed a dark-colored bathrobe, from Taziki's at the Colonnade and traveled there. She then traveled to Target on 280, where she purchased some granola bars and Cheez-Its. From there, she remained in the parking lot at that shopping center until 9:21 p.m. when she drove to I-459. CARLEE communicated on her cell phone with individuals known to her while on her path of travel up to the point of calling 911 at 9:34 p.m. And at this time, we will play the 911 call in its entirety.
Are you with the child right now? No, I'm not. I just got out of the car. I can see them though. Do you mind staying in the island until we get there? Yeah. Yeah, sure, yeah. Okay, what kind of car are you in? I'm in a red Mercedes-Benz. Is it a sedan or SUV? SUV. I mean, it's a sedan. But can you put your hazards on for me? Yeah, definitely. Okay. Did you talk to the child or did you say anything? No. Okay. No. Do they look like they're injured? No, they don't. Are they white, like Hispanic, or Asian? They're white. Okay. Is it male or female? I think it's a boy or a boy. Right, male? Okay. So is he wearing clothes? Yes. Okay. What is he wearing? It's a white t-shirt, and he doesn't look like he has any pants on. It looks like a diaper. And you don't see any cars? Okay. All right. What's your name? My name is CARLEE Russell. And you don't see any injuries or shots where you're at, correct? No. That can't be not good. Okay. I've got them on the way. Okay. Just try to stay, keep an eye on them, but officers are on the way, okay? Okay, thanks. Thank you.
CARLEE called a relative after speaking with the 911 operator. She went missing during that conversation sometime after 9:30 p.m. Traffic camera footage was obtained which depicted this portion of the incident, and that footage was analyzed as part of the investigation in conjunction with the 911 call and cell phone data to accurately determine the time frame. CARLEE's 911 call remains the only report of a child on the interstate, despite numerous vehicles passing through the area at that time. No one has called to report that a child is missing, and that data from CARLEE's phone, including her Life 360 app, shows that she traveled approximately 600 yards in her vehicle while she was on the phone with 911, stating that she was following a child. 600 yards. That is 6 football fields straight, 600 yards. The Hoover 911 Center received a second call from CARLEE's mother, stating that a relative was on the phone with her when they heard CARLEE scream, and then they had an open phone line. Hoover police officers arrived on in 5 minutes of being dispatched, and several other officers arrived shortly. They located CARLEE's wig and cell phone in the grass near the vehicle. Her purse was located in the front seat of her vehicle with her Apple Watch in the purse. The food she ordered for Tzatziki's was also in the car. The items she purchased from Target, as well as the items taken from her place of employment, were not in the vehicle, nor were they located anywhere around the scene. Hoover police deployed all available assets from the point in search for CARLEE. Additional resources were called in to include our own drone unit, crime scene investigators. Numerous detectives responded to the scene. Throughout the day Friday, officers from surrounding local and federal agencies federal line search for evidence. K-9 teams from the Jefferson County Sheriff's Department responded to check for any sign of CARLEE, the child that she claimed to see, and anything else that could be considered evidence in this case. Those searches all turned up empty. Private citizens, including search parties organized by our family, friends, began looking everywhere that they could find any trace. These searches took place throughout the day Friday and again on Saturday, yielding nothing. At 10:44 p.m. on July 15th, the Hoover 911 Center receives a call from CARLEE's residence stating that she returned home on foot. In subsequent investigations, detectives obtained surveillance footage of CARLEE walking down the sidewalk alone prior to arrival at her residence. She was conscious and speaking with paramedics when she was transported to UAB. Detectives were able to obtain a brief statement from her prior to being treated and released. During the statement, she told detectives that while traveling down the interstate, she saw a baby walking down the side of the road and called 911. She stated when she got out of her vehicle to check on the child, a man came out of the trees and mumbled that he was checking on the baby. She claimed that the man then picked her up and she screamed. She stated he then made her go is being in the trailer of an 18-wheeler. She stated that the male was with a female. However, she never saw the female, only hearing her voice. She also told detectives she could hear a baby crying. She told detectives the male had orange hair with a big bald spot on the back. She said she was able to escape the 18-wheeler and fled on foot, only to be captured again and then was put in a car. She claimed she was then blindfolded, but was not tied up because the captor said they did not want to leave impressions on her wrists. She said that they took her into a house and made her get undressed. She believes they took pictures of her, but she does not remember them having any physical or sexual contact. She stated the next day she woke up and was fed cheese crackers by the female. She said the woman also played with her hair, but could not remember anything else. At some point, she was put back in a vehicle she claims was able to escape while it was in the West Hoover area. She told detectives she ran through lots of woods until she came out near her residence. During this interview, detectives noted that CARLEE had a small injury to her lip, and she claimed that her head was hurting. She also had a tear in her shirt. Detectives also noted that she had $107 cash in her right in her family. Detectives did not press for additional information in this interview and made plans to speak with her in detail after giving her time to rest. Detectives continue analyzing data from CARLEE's cell phone behind at the scene. We enlisted the help of the United States Secret Service. Part of what data included several internet searches in the days leading up to their disappearance that I think are very relevant to this case. On July 11th at 7:30 a.m., the term "you have to pay for an Amber Alert" was searched. On July 13th at 1:03 a.m., the day of her disappearance, the term "how to take money from a register without being caught" was searched. On July 13th at 2:13 a.m., the day of her disappearance, the term "Birmingham bus station" was searched. On July 13th, 2:35 a.m., a search for a one-way bus ticket from Birmingham to Nashville was conducted with a departure date of July 13th. On July 13th at 12:10 p.m., a search for the movie Taken, a film about abduction, CARLEE's place of employment, including one regarding the maximum age of the Amber Alert. There were other searches on CARLEE's phone that appeared to shed some light on her mindset, but out of respect for her privacy, we will not be releasing the content of those searches at this time. We've asked to interview CARLEE a second time, but have not been granted that request. As you can see, there are many questions left to be answered, but only CARLEE can provide those answers. What we can say is we've been unable to verify most of CARLEE's initial statement made to investigators, and we have no reason to believe that there is a threat to the public safety related to this particular case. Thank you very much.
With that, welcome to some questions. Please raise your hand and I'll call them. Carol.
Do you expect any charges against CARLEE Russell in connection with the disappearance and in connection with what was taken place in the call?
Right now, our focus is to determine those 49 hours. So the investigation continues. So to be perfectly honest with you, that hasn't even entered our mind or been discussed.
Is it surprising to me that the family is not being lost in questions?
Well, I think the family stated to us that they didn't think that in her mental state right now, because of
Question, Chief. You stated that the abductor had orange hair. Was this abductor black male? Was it female? Black female? White female?
I believe it's a white male. Am I correct by saying that? Was it ever? Yeah, white male.
Is this alleged abductor yet on loose in the area?
Don't believe so.
Bringing in the DRC, has a toxicology report been done for any drugs or illegal substances that in her system?
We have no report of that.
Is any indication of mental illness in this case?
Not that I'm aware of.
There's been a concern in the community that if this
I'd respond to say that we investigate every crime to the fullest, just like we have this one.
Would you travel with anyone, excuse me, would you travel with anyone since the time you disappeared from knowledge?
And not to my knowledge.
I know you said you were able to verify a lot of aspects of the story. Where do you think she went? How would you characterize what happened?
You know, that's the $100 question. You know, we pretty much know exactly. Getting out of the car on the interstate from that footage, and after that, I think she only knows. We don't know.
Well, one quick follow-up, her parents, did you speak with Carlee's parents? Why do you think it is they were so adamant that there was a doctor?
Yeah, I think parents are believing what their daughter's saying, and we've had a very good rapport with the parents, met with them on several occasions. I've talked to them today a few times, and to make them understand that we're under pressure from our community, not only in our community, the state, but nationally when the story hit. And I just wanted them to understand that today we were going to have a press conference, and what we were going to detail today are facts. And everything that I've told you today is actual facts. It's not innuendos. It's not what I think. It's not what these detectives think. It is the factual information that we have. Well, I think our detectives have talked to the parents, and we're ready to talk as soon as she's ready. So, you know, she called right now. We're ready. How about unknown? You know, we know the facts that we have. Everything else is unknown at this time.
What have the past few days been like for you, your department?
That Thursday, when she went missing, of course, the focus was to get Carlee home. That's what we want all. We wanted her safe and sound, and that's all happened. And then, of course, this has gotten to be not only a local state story, but a national story. So, you know, it's a lot of stress on everyone in the Hoover Police Department, and the mayor, to every citizen here. We want to know the truth.
As you stand here, are you frustrated?
I wouldn't say I'm frustrated. I mean, I'm very happy that Carlee's home. That was the main ingredient here, and then we'll figure it out. I promise you that. We'll end up figuring it out.
Any idea about the number of manpower hours or the that might cause the city
Yeah, we haven't had time to consider that, but it's you know, again, these detectives that are here, this is just a small group of people that have been associated with this case. We have put every available resource that we have on this case because we wanted to make sure that we found out everything. We wanted to get her home, and we have.
She was very prior indication of mental health.
Not that I'm aware of.
Could you just expand on the people from the state federal resources brought in? What were they doing exactly as you all were searching for?
Sure. A lot of the and as you well know, in a case like this, especially when it goes national, we got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of calls. And when we get those calls, some of them may just be outlandish, but you got to follow up on them because you never know that you may get that one tidbit. And I'd also say too that we had a great cooperation with the family. The family received hundreds and hundreds of tips, and every time they got a tip, they sent it to us. No, we have not determined that now.
Chief Vance of the ATG 610 South Media. Question for Chief, with all of the searches that you mentioned, Chief, that were on Carlee's phone, does that kind of give you an indication of her mind state during this ordeal, 48 hours?
Yeah.
That she went missing?
Well, you know, again, we want to talk in facts, and I do think it's highly unusual to the day that someone gets kidnapped, that several 7 hours, 8 hours before that they're searching the internet, Googling the movie Taken about an abduction. I find that very, very strange, yes.
Do you feel confident your investigator feel confident that you know why?
No, we do not know. Absolutely not.
Chief, can you explain for us, you mentioned while it
Which tells me that I've had kids, and I'm sure a lot of people here have, and it's very, very, again, she said it, and I'm not saying it couldn't happen because I've always been one of these guys, never say never, but 6 football fields. I mean, I like athletics, I like football. 6 football fields. To think that a toddler, barefoot, that could be 3 or 4 years old, is going to travel 6 football fields without getting in the roadway, without crying, without any just moving down. It's just very hard for me to understand. We did not see, from what we can tell, we don't see anybody on the interstate other than her car and then someone getting out of her driver's side. We have sent that off to the FBI for enhancement. It has not been returned.
Do you think in this case that charges will be forthcoming towards CARLEE Russell? And how serious of a crime is it to not only have a 911 call, but to lie to law enforcement during an investigation?
Well, you know, again, that's not something that we're going to discuss as we're going through the still investigation. But you know, people have to understand that when someone says something like this, we put every available resource. Everybody comes together from, like I say, you know, gentleman earlier said frustrated. I mean, it is a little frustrating to think that all this has been done and we can't find anything out.
Did anyone see her falling in from the side of the road when she made that 911 call?
No, not to my knowledge.
All right, last question here. This investigation is held up until you can speak once again, CARLEE Russell.
Well, there's a few things that we're still doing, but obviously we want to talk to CARLEE as soon as we can and do an in-depth interview. And at that time, I think we'll have these investigators doing some other things. So
That's all the questions I'm going to answer today. We appreciate you guys coming and we're following up with y'all later. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time, Chief.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. That's the said information. One second. Wow. What a story. What a story. Thank you for joining me. Welcome to the Vault XL. Sorry about the audio. That was the audio of the network, CBS, where it was blanking in and out. Feel free to go back in the queue to rewatch the commentary so you can get the full wordings of what this gentleman had to say. I think we know basically the gist of everything he said. There are a few things that blanked out, but nonetheless, thank you for watching. If you'd like to donate to this great network, $DeGanji 129 Cash App, stickers and chats are welcome during the live. Let's start at what was said. Still ongoing investigation. May not be able to answer some of the questions that the reporters will ask. This investigation is not over. They're still currently working towards the information that was exacted during the 49 hours that CARLEE Russell went missing. They are sticking to the facts only, which is from the information that they have gathered through CCTV footage and in the investigation. Not innuendo, not gossip, not their own opinion, just the facts that they found from their investigation. They owe this to the citizens due to the fear of people assuming or thinking someone was out on the loose, kidnapping women, using children as bait. From their investigation, they gathered that this young lady, Ms. Russell, acquired a bathrobe, Cheez-Its, and granola bars from Target, 9:21 p.m. in a parking lot, and then she goes on to the highway. And remember, there was a rumor allegedly she was fed the Cheez-Its by the abductor, and you hear that also near the end of this commentary. Secret Service, FBI, U.S. Marshals, and another agency he mentioned I couldn't quite hear, aided in this investigation. Purse found in the car front seat with the watch inside of the car. We also had heard that her purse was found on the ground with the watch in it. So now we hear it was under the front seat, car running, items from Target, and what she stole from the business, the spa, were not recovered. Stay woke. Granola bars, Cheez-Its, not found. Whatever she stole from the business, not found. But her purse left behind. What are the odds that the things you bought from the store, they're not in the car, but your purse is in the car? So the abductor said, hey, we gotta feed her. Let's steal the food, but leave her purse behind. Come on now. Searches of her data, phone, searches from the family yielded nothing. CCTV footage shows her walking home. She was coherent and could speak, basically, let's say speaking. But that is not what the mother said. She was non-responsive. But EMT say she was speaking when we got there. She was breathing, she was speaking. Naturally, she went to the hospital, got checked out, and sent home. Once again, what injuries did she have? She states a man came out of the trees to check on the baby and then grabbed her. She was taken to a tractor trailer with a woman. She didn't see the woman, but she heard the woman talking. The woman played with her hair. He had orange hair. She also heard her baby crying. Before all this, she was able to run and get away, but then they captured her. So I guess when they recaptured her, she heard all these things. I don't know. I really want to repeat the order of this because I don't think it's factual, so it doesn't even make a damn difference. But nonetheless, fed Cheez-Its by a female. She had $107 on her purses. That part of the audio went out, so I don't know where it was found on her, considering she didn't have her purse. So I don't know if it was in her bra, her panties, a pocket, what? Where was the $107? I can rewatch it again so I can get the exact, location on her purses where the money was. Phone left at the scene. Data searches, July 11th, 7:30. Searches about an Amber Alert. How much do you have to pay? Why would you be searching for that, CARLEE Russell? A 1 a.m. search. This is the day that she's concocts this farce. How to steal money from a register without getting caught. One-way bus ticket to Nashville from Birmingham. And the movie Taken. These are searches found on her device by law enforcement. Also, the maximum age of an Amber Alert, which we know Amber Alert is for children. So maybe somewhere in this stupid chick's mind, she believes she is a child. I don't know. Other searches that they found, they will not reveal what they were. That's not good. So, CARLEE Queen gonna talk to you for just a second. What are these other searches that they found that they don't want to repeat to the public? Because so far what they've repeated is not good and does not weigh highly in your favor. Probably some real nasty stuff. Because whenever the news don't want to repeat other searches, that means it's really, really, really bad. I'm just saying. This gentleman says there is no threat to the public pertaining to this case. Questions from the reporters. Will it be charges? He says right now they're only focusing on the 49 hours that this female went missing. It has never entered their mind about charges pertaining to Ms. Russell. Description of the abductors. Believe it is a white male, female, orange hair. This man also tells us that he does not believe that the abductor is on the loose in the Hoover area. Do not believe She has a mental illness and have not gotten anything back pertaining to having drugs in her system. You hear a reporter asking about what about if it's another black woman calling in a 911? Will there be a problem or a bias in another African American female calling 911 for help? He says, we will treat all calls the same. We will investigate. They did not see anyone with her on the interstate. From the moment she got out of the car on Highway I-459, it goes cold from that as far as information to her whereabouts. She is the only one that knows where she was. They have a good rapport with the parents. They have only repeated facts in this investigation from what they have gathered. They will talk to her when she's ready to talk. So, as he said, if she's ready to talk today, we are ready to speak with her. Everything else is unknown pertaining to this case that they have not gathered factually. We will figure this out, he said. You know what, CARLEE? Did you hear that? That old man said, we will figure this out. You know that don't sound good, right? Basically letting you know if you'd have lied, you'll probably have to pay the piper. And we'll talk about that later on as well. What will the piper be? Reporter asked about resources, the cost of resources, and he basically told the public that they used every available resource to investigate this crime. And the objective was to get her home. Some things in a case can be outlandish, phone calls, tips, but they follow up on them regardless of how they sound. The family also helped with tips that they had gotten while she was missing. This gentleman lets you know that he found it highly unusual for someone to have a search of a movie taken on their phone the day that they go missing. He found it very strange that this is what was on her phone. The search of this movie and other searches before actually reporting a child missing and then also allegedly being kidnapped. This is what she claims. Do not know why she did it. The fact of a child traveling 6 football fields, he can't even understand that. Once again, did not see anybody on the highway. And naturally, they're sending all that said information, CCTV footage, to the FBI to be analyzed, make sure that there's nobody else on the highway, no child, for analysis. Very interesting. 911 call. She talks very proper, this African American female. Very meticulous in her wording. She's at exit 10. Child's walking toward Tuscaloosa. She sees the child. She describes being in a red Mercedes sedan. They asked her to put on her hazard. She did so. First, she said she never said anything to the child, but let the family tell her she did speak to the child. There's your lie right there. White child, boy child, white t-shirt, diaper. They're asking her about injuries on the child. What do they see? What does she see? First, injuries, but she can't see that good. She calls relatives after the 911 call, and then she goes missing later. Only call coming into the dispatch pertaining to a child on the interstate is from CARLEE Russell. Data in her 360 app shows her traveling 600 yards or so to 6 football fields of travel. I'm trying to wonder what the hell all that means. Second call came from her mom after she allegedly called a relative. So these are the only 2 calls coming into the dispatch pertaining to this situation. And CARLEE Russell. She first calls about the boy child, and then her mom calls to say, hey, she called somebody, and she's out there, blah, 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 so on and so forth. Police got there on the scene within 5 minutes. And I guess within 5 minutes, that's enough time to get kidnapped or wander off into the world. Thank you for joining me. Now for my commentary. What is understood needs no explanation. That's a street term. Let me say it again. What is understood needs no explanation. You see, 50 ways to kill a person, then I'm going to say commit a crime, because you can also commit a crime without murdering somebody. So let's say 50 ways to commit a crime, 100 ways to get caught. This is exemplary with CARLEE Russell. You thought of this, and this, but you forgot about that, and that. Checkmate. You forgot about the cameras on the interstate, Dodo Bird. You forgot about the cameras at your job, Dodo Bird. You forgot about cameras in parking lots, Dodo Bird. You forgot about cameras in Target, Dodo Bird. You forgot about cameras at the restaurant, Dodo Bird, because you didn't carefully plan this out. Because whatever reasons you planned this out, CARLEE Russell, they make no sense, and it doesn't even matter at this point. Because as someone on TV said, Court TV, in the end, it ain't gonna even be worth it. Whatever reason it was. You see, that's where you messed up the cameras. See, there's a blueprint, as we call it, eye in the sky. You leave your notifications on your phone, it's tracking every damn place you went. Who called in, phone going out, messenger, so on and so forth. Because you don't think. And you're 25 years old, you're not a smart cookie. And that's your fault. As we would say in the street, sounds like a personal problem. Because you don't think. You didn't think. You were thinking about whatever the hell was going on in your life. And it looks like you had a lot going on. And I'm not here to dwell on the rhetoric, the gossip of what he said, she said about what the fuck you were doing out there in them streets. But you are troubled because you're searching kidnap movies. You're trying to you're searching for about a one-way ticket somewhere. You were doing the most. So people going to want to get, well, what was wrong with her? Where was she going? What about the Red Roof Inn? What about it? What about the underage boy? What about it? Oh, I heard she had boyfriend problems. What about it? Oh, her parents were strict. What about it? It don't matter. The point is, you are fucking with law enforcement for no reason. You're fucking with your own livelihood, no reason. You're bringing shame to yourself for no reason. You're bringing shame to your family for no reason. You're bringing shame to the community, the black community, for no reason. We don't need another Justice Smollett, a woman version. Checkmate. But thank you. Because you just put the needle on the record like a fool. You had a promising career. Found that interesting. Your mother would say that. She had a promising career. Ding, ding, ding. Who the hell wants you as a nurse now? Because you ain't about to be nobody's Nurse Betty. Because you know what we're going to say to ourselves? What about when she's having a bad day? She might give us too much insulin. I said that. And I meant that. You're a loaded pistol, Cookie. You're a loaded pistol, walking time bomb. Because you're that person that can't deal with shit and you check all the way out. Not just say, I'm going to go to the park, I'm going to go have a drink, I'm going to smoke a little marijuana, I'm going to just hide in my room, hide under the covers. You sit up and say, let me go to Google. Let me see what I can find to cut, and have everybody running around like rats in a circle on my behalf. You're very dangerous. And that's the part of the story that some of you are missing. Stop focusing on that bullshit about what she was going through. That's not the point. Everybody has a bad day, anxieties, want to scream, want to holler, want to cry, things ain't working out, coffee maker broke, need a new tire, car needs working on. See where I'm going with that? But you don't go make up some elaborate scheme to get the police involved so then he can go get the FBI, Secret Service, U.S. Marshals, have people thinking there's a child missing, got people thinking a whole woman is missing, all because you're having a bad fucking day. You're the black version of Sherry Papini. Your choice. You didn't think about your livelihood down the road, having a job, relationship, children, how people are going to look at your parents, because you didn't care. And there's nothing that you had going on in your life that warranted you making up this bullshit story to the police. And see, this is why I always tell people, when it starts turning out that shit looks negative, facetious, that's because 9 times out of 10 it is. It's not being judgmental. It's not being a cynic. It is what it is. And yes, there could have been that rare chance. She was kidnapped, abducted, lured, whatever. But it ain't so. And you knew that once they said, we didn't see nobody else on the interstate. That did it right there. Because at least if they had said, yeah, we saw another car. Yeah, we saw somebody running towards her. Yeah, we saw somebody dragging her toward the woods. Yeah, we saw something, someone, other people. Then you might be able to say, okay, she was kidnapped. If you ain't got the kid or another person, what are we talking about? Because we're not talking about anything. Now, what's going to be the rebuttal from CARLEE and her parents? What do you all have to say now pertaining to this information from the police department? I'll wait. You got it all wrong. You got it all wrong. That don't mean nothing. That search is for taking and her wanting a bus ticket and she didn't have the food in her car and she didn't have this in her car and she left her phone behind. She left her purse. Oh, no, you got it wrong. No, your daughter got it wrong. She fucked up. And she's been caught. And they were very kind in this press conference because he never talked out of turn about the parents or CARLEE Russell. But he let it be known, we will get to the bottom of this story. Checkmate. And they need to file charges against her for filing a fake report because she's owed that to show you can't go out here messing with the police, messing up resources with agencies when there are real people out here. And as this one YouTuber said today in his commentary, you know who the victim is in this story? The woman who's actually kidnapped. That's who the victim is. An actual kidnapped victim. And also an actual child wandering the streets, neglected, used, abused. And you are neither of those things, CARLEE Russell, to our understanding and knowledge. You are disrespectful. And at 25, you are not to be trusted. Can you change your ways? Yes, you can. Can you go to the Lord and ask for forgiveness? Yes, you can. Will he forgive you? Yes, he will. Will we forgive you? Probably not. Because you can't be trusted. And at 25, you're at the hump of life, the middle of life. So we have to wonder what the hell is going on with you. But as I said before, I don't care. Because one, you're not my problem. You're not my child. You're not my sister. You're not my family. You're not my friend. I don't really give a damn. Because there's too many people out here who really need help. And that's somebody out here that's actually missing. And nobody knows where they are. And we don't know if they're dead or alive. That person is more important to me than CARLEE Russell. Yeah, I'm saying that. Now, the Christian side would say, now, Angela, you should just pray for her. We're all sinners. Yes, we are. Fornicators. Yes, we are. Liars, thieves, murderers. Yes, we are. But I'm going to say it again. She ain't my child, and she ain't no friend of mine. So I ain't concerned about CARLEE Russell. The only person I'm concerned about is an actual victim missing. The actual victim calling 911 saying, help me, they're trying to kill me, they're chasing me, they're beating me, I'm hiding, I don't know where I'm at, God, please save me. That's who I'm concerned about. Not some fucking self-entitled 25-year-old brat living well, living good, is having a fucking badass day. Well, I tell you what, you want to talk about a bad day, CARLEE Russell? I need a new car. Need a new truck. Need a new something. You want to trade that Mercedes with me? I'll take it. Because that Mercedes you're driving is better than the one I had 20 plus years ago. Yeah, we ain't going to keep it real. You want to trade cars? You want to take this SUV I got that don't want to act right? I'll drive it to Alabama and hand it to you personally. Hello, Chris. Thank you for joining me. I will personally drive this fucking truck down there and switch cars with you, you ungrateful brat. You're ungrateful. You have a good life, I would assume. And even if your life isn't the best, maybe there's more to your life that we don't know. You got crazy parents, you're crazy. The point is, you're an adult and you need to learn how to navigate. And obviously, you have not been afforded that opportunity by your parents, because really, if you were raised properly, no matter what you were going through, you could go to your parents and say, I fucked up. I stole something from my job. I don't know why I did it. I apologize. Didn't want you to have to hear it this way. I'm having boyfriend problems. Yeah, I've been messing with a kid underage. I know better. Just call it and be done with it. Keep it moving. I failed my courses in school. I don't know what happened. See, people can respect you if you tell the truth. Because there's nothing worse than a liar. I told people, you can judge a thief however you want, but a thief, you know he or she's the thief. You know, don't leave your pocketbook by. You know, don't leave no money out. You don't know that with a liar. Because a lot of people lie to you every day and you ain't caught their ass yet. And you might even get a little twinge sometimes. You say, that don't even sound right. That ain't what he told me yesterday. Whatever. I got a feeling, CARLEE, you've been lying ever since you were a child. And your parents knew that you lied, and they gave you a pass. You probably tell what we would say about little children, little white lies. Oh yeah, I went to the market today and I did this, and oh yeah, we're going to Bermuda for 5 days, and you ain't went no damn where. Because see, what happens in life is that we tolerate people and their bullshit because we like them, we love them. And then there comes a point when we say, well, you know what, despite that being my sister, my cousin, my friend, I'm really kind of sick of your ass. I'm kind of sick of the lies. I'm kind of sick of the manipulation. I'm done with you. You see, you're that type of person that has to happen to for you to grow up. Because what's going to happen is, no matter if they bring charges against you for lying, make you pay fines, restitution to the city, the government if you have not learned from this experience, you're going to find yourself hurt somewhere. And you may find yourself in a worse situation than an alleged abduction. Because what you did is atrocious. And you might get in the company of somebody that might want to beat you up, strangle you, choke you out because you're a little lighter. And I don't think that would be too much fun for you. And I ain't the type to give you no pass. Because everybody's had a hard way at some point in life. As they would say, caught with their pants down. But you move on. You either stand a tone or you move on. You haven't learned that yet. And what's going to be sickening is if your parents ride the ride with this BS after what the police department has just released to the public. And God forbid they start to deny what the police has said. Well, that ain't right. That can't be true. I don't think that's the right information. Then that will lead me to believe they're just as crazy as you are. Because I would call a spade a spade. Oh my goodness, I'm shocked. I'm stunned. I can't believe she would be searching those things. Yes, you're right. That is very suspicious. Searching the movie Taken. Amber Alerts. And it goes to show you you're not as smart as you should be for your age because you're not a child. An Amber Alert is for a child, to my knowledge, not an adult. I could be wrong. Missing person, period. But you have the Anaya down there, and you see nothing came of that. And sadly, her mom is rushing over there, worried about you, because her child's been murdered. Brutally murdered. And thrown off in the highway like trash down there in Alabama a few years ago. Please check my library for that said commentary. So that woman felt, ill hearing another black child, black girl, woman missing. Now imagine what she's thinking. Dear God, what have I gotten myself involved in? I ran to the aid of this family, and it's looking like this girl made this up. Do you know how embarrassed that lady probably feels? Even though she has nothing invested, but just she's lost a child to a sadist. But her feelings would be hurt. Her spirit would be hurt. Because that's what you do when you have empathy in you. You reach out. You get involved. So look at all the people that went rushing to your aid. Neighbors, family members, friends, boyfriend, community, police, FBI, Secret Service, U.S. Marshals, so on and so forth, over a little liar. And exactly, she does need to be careful because there's people out here who are just as dirty as she is, and they won't mind giving a little vigilante justice. You think when all this is boiled over, nobody's talking about CARLEE Russell anymore, no YouTube videos, no news reports, you're out running around somewhere, and somebody looks at you and say, aren't you that lady that lied about being abducted? And knock you the fuck out just because they could. See, you don't live in the real world. And I'm not here to throw shade at your parents, but I do have to question how they raised you. I am questioning how did they raise you. Did they give you a pass in life? Were you getting into little bitty things and they just said, that's okay, don't worry about it? And see, the little things can add up to big things, such as where we are today. Law enforcement telling us we ain't seen no toddler nowhere. And we ain't seen no man, woman nowhere on that highway, the grassy area, coming from the woods, going into the woods, nothing. So as I said before, no matter what you've been going through, it should have never got to this point here. And that shows me that you don't know how to delegate. You do not know how to cope well. Because if you think that lying is the remedy for coping, you're in bad shape. And you're going to always have problems. And you need to seek a therapist. And this doesn't look like somebody that's schizophrenic, hallucinating, because you took items that you bought minutes before and they were nowhere to be found inside of the vehicle. That's not evidentiary of a schizophrenic person. That shows you can articulate what to take and what to leave behind. So I'm wondering if you've ever been in trouble before. Have you stolen before? Do you have a background of stealing? A record when you were a minor stealing, but it's sealed? Have you been stealing from friends and family? Have things come up missing while you were around? Because as this guy said on his YouTube channel today, there's probably going to be a lot of stuff that's going to start coming out about you, and it ain't going to be nice. And it could have been things that everybody knew about, but it ain't making national news, local news. And that's the gist of the story. We all got secrets, we all got sins, we all got flaws, but it don't make it to the news until something pops off that makes it newsworthy. So you concocting this hoax, any little thing you've ever done or said out of the way to PD, Pookie, Ray Ray, all that's gonna come out now. And all that could have been avoided had you just owned your shit and kept it moving. But instead, you wanted to make up this bullshit, get everybody all riled up down there in Alabama for nothing. And let me talk to you before I check out of here directly. There are lots of black people missing from the state of Alabama. And I came to learn this information when talking about Cupcake, Anaya Blanchard, Lakira Pig, who's still missing. And nobody's talking about those missing people. They're just a fucking number on an FBI page and an Alabama missing page. Nobody's put up a reward. Nobody's got a GoFundMe. Nobody's got nothing going on about those missing people. Nobody had the canines and dogs and drones for those people. So you're a disrespect to those black people currently missing on those rosters. And it's a lot of black people down there. And they're missing from all different ages. Black boy, black girl, black woman, black man, older, younger, middle age. And they ain't nowhere to be found. And Alabama did right by you. They called in whoever they could to look for you and hunt down anything that could find you. You went and you hid out for whatever reason. And you came back. And I think you did this because of whatever the hell was going on in your life that was jacked up. But it was foul what you did. And it's a disrespect to missing people, people who have been kidnapped, abducted, tortured, murdered, buried, thrown out like trash, dismembered. It just apprehended a serial killer, Long Island, New York. And those girls didn't have justice for 13 fucking years. And he cut those kids up. He cut those kids up, strangled them. One woman found without her kid. So that's what I want people to think about Those women found in Long Island, New York, they were important. Doesn't matter what they did to get killed, what kind of profession they had, they were human beings. Those people missing in Alabama, they were human beings. They may not have been perfect, but they are human beings. You're disrespectful. You are utterly ungrateful and disrespectful. And I don't care what you were going through. I don't care about a boyfriend problem. I don't care that you failed school. I don't care that you got caught stealing at your job. You got fired. You were worried about having a criminal record. You were worried about people talking about you. You could have stood account and kept it moving. You could always move to another town, jurisdiction, and eventually nobody would give a fuck about CARLEE Russell and stealing out some fucking business. But instead, you chose to cop out. You wanted attention because you don't feel secure. You're insecure. You wanted to be validated. But what you did was you slapped all these missing people in the face. You're unworthy. And the only person that can let it slide, that's God. He's the only one that's going to favor you and think of you as his child. He's the only one. Your parents may support you, but in the end, who you stand account to is G-O-D. And that's what you need to understand. And you're going to have a hard time after this because everybody's going to know your name and you're going to have a hard time dating, meeting someone, share your life with, having children. How the fuck are you going to work a job now? See, you're not very bright. But this is what you have to do is pay the piper. Because you did this to yourself. And you have nobody else to blame but CARLEE Russell. And if your parents stand beside you on this bullshit and aid with more lying and cover-ups, they deserve whatever else coming to their ass too. Because I would not support your ass. Because you don't know, you may bring harm to your own family. Because we have wackos out here that are just as crazy as you are. And that's what some of you don't understand. You go out here and do something crazy. Then other wackos feed off of that bullshit. Next thing you know, they're stalking you. They're stalking your family. They're bothering your family. They're egging your house, egging your cars, putting nasty things at your house and your door, sending you stuff through the mail. You don't got no damn common sense. You're bringing a problem now to your own life and to your family for nothing. So when some shit pops off at your parents' house, at their job, you have nobody to blame but yourself because you brought this trouble to their front door. And I pray that they're not involved because that would be shameful to know some parents were in on this BS. They've denied GoFundMe pages, condoning them or starting them. I don't know because I don't know them and I don't hunt down things through social media. But all I can say is, for their sake, I hope they're not involved in any way. I hope they didn't put any ideas in your head. And I hope they didn't collaborate on this scheme with you. There are lots of rumors out here. I'm not here to aid any of the rumors. All I'm saying is, whatever drove you to do this, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. And if anybody helped you, they should go down with you. Anyone aided after the fact and found out, you should go down with her because that's wrong. And I wouldn't even get involved in that. I'm not about to help you do nothing. Allegations of text messages of you asking somebody to meet you around the corner, blah, blah, blah. Don't know if that's true. Red Roof Inn, don't know if that's true. Underage boy, don't know if that's true. But the end result is that you need to pay the piper. You're owed that. Because these people go out here every day to help us keep some type of order in the world. That's their job, law enforcement. And you slap them in the face. You slapped people who have been hurt, accosted, raped, sodomized, kidnapped, been found, not found. You slap them in the face. And sadly, you'll probably have to go through that in life to understand what you did was wrong. And I hope for your sake, you never have to be actually kidnapped, held against your will, raped, tortured, or murdered. This should be a very valuable. Sorry about that. As I said, Lord have mercy if you haven't learned anything by now. We will see what the parents have to say pertaining to this information that has been released by the Hoover Police Department. Will CARLEE decide to speak? Will she rebuff this information? Will she say police got it wrong? They don't understand the searches. It was for research. It was just curiosity. I was just bored. Or will she tell the truth? Yes, I searched for those things because, yes, I did lie to law enforcement, and I will stand account for the things that I did wrong by filing a false report on the interstate and that I was kidnapped. Those were all lies. And I think you need to tell the truth. You need to tell the truth first to your parents that you lied. You also need to tell the truth to the public. You need to apologize to law enforcement, your family, friends. Seek help and figure out what it is that's going on inside your head. And then forgive yourself. Thank you all for joining me. If you'd like to donate to this great network, $sign DeAngie, 129 Cash App, stickers and chats are welcome during the live stream. I will put up a poll after this live stream pertaining to the information. Please feel free to take the polls because I'd like to hear your opinion pertaining to the information I bring to this network. And my prayers are with anyone who is currently missing in America, that justice will be found, your killer, abductor will be found. And I pray that no one else will go to law enforcement with a fake missing persons report of a child and or an adult or themselves, because you're wasting resources, valuable resources that need to be for those who are in need, not those who are seeking attention. This is a travesty to me. And it's one thing when Jussie Smollett pulled his stunt, but now African-American female, 25 years of age, there are no words. You are a disgrace to me, and that's my public opinion. And I know that we all are flawed and we do wrong, but this is just something you just did not have to do. And nobody can make me understand why you did this. No way in hell would I ever think to do this at 52, and I sure as hell never thought about doing it at 25. You have a troubled spirit, and you need to seek help. You need to seek help. But first, you need to own that you lied, and you need to pay the piper. And I do believe you should get jail time. I do not believe you should get probation and just fines and restitution and paying back resources. That's too easy. Restitution, yes. Fines, yes. Probation, You want a long time? You mad at the world? You're angry? Sit in jail for a while. You'll be crawling to get out of there. Whatever was going on with you out here will be nothing compared to being in jail with no freedom. Got to get permission to use the phone. Can't eat what you want. No Cheez-Its in there. Granola bars, no. No driving a nice car. no living in a comfortable house, nice home, nice neighborhood, just a cot on top of steel. No hair weave, no lace front wigs, no makeup, no eyelashes, no nothing. Then you'll think about how good you had it when you were free. And that the things that you thought were so horrible, they were irrelevant. They were irrelevant. Thank you for your time. You have been listening to The Vault XL.